You're freaking good. Share. Discord. Oh, oops. Hey, what up, Julio? What going on, brother? It's too late about time. Alright, let's see. Drop wise. Alright, let's make it happen. What up, Senfei? I'm going good. Yeah, I'll be doing it at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Oh. I need to make some eggs. Oh, it's dark. Celsia, activate kitchen light. Just kidding. Yeah, 8. Yeah. 8 o'clock. That's freaking. 8 o'clock is freaking go time. Oh. Alright. First things first, heat your pan. Medium, low. I put it on 3. You're gonna go make a grilled cheese. Yeah, brother, make a grilled cheese salad. I'm gonna make eggs. These are eggs right out my chicken's out back. Okay. Alright. Let's see what we're doing here. We get some fat. Put some fat in the pan, boy. Big old hunk. Don't be afraid to use a bunch of fat. Fat's good for you. Not crazy ass but fats. Good fats, solid fats, not Crisco or anything crazy like that. Richard, when you logged off, I was scrolling through lives and there's a deconstructionist guy who interviews ex-theists and it's very strange to me. Why do they go out of their way? So evil exists. So you have to understand, ego exists and ego. People that learned this in school, college even, and think they're smarter and they learned more and they stopped learning. They stopped learning. People that keep learning get there. The problem is people stay in their field. I have all fields: chemistry, physics, biology, freaking automotive technician, carpentry, everything. So when I start dissecting things, I see how how deceptive advertising and marketing. Working 15 years in the movie industry, I've done deceptive marketing. I know what the plan is, and they do that. They do it on purpose. Oops. Sorry, they do it on purpose. This guy needs Buddhism. I don't need. Which one? Richard, I feel so relaxed today. I just feel like I got a lot of faith and hope. Good, brother. That makes that brings on peace. So as you learn, so the big thing to do is learn enough about everything. Like if you're not a physicist and you read a paper on physics, you believe it often, especially if you're an expert in another field. Like expert biologists believe the papers from expert physicists and they understand what's going on. But when they try to communicate theory and hypothesis to the world in general, they speak like hypotheses and theories like truths, and then things get very blended. And Then you have people that have been hurt by the church or some religious faction that are just anti that, which is anti-science. Remember, science is repeatable. So they can't say, well, this happened then, because they can't repeat that experiment. They can't say, no, 12,755,000,000 years ago, whether it was that or not. But those are best guesses, educated guesses. But children aren't taught that. And a lot of people that are outside of other disciplines aren't taught that. Right. So they believe it. Or, like I said, they've been hurt by somebody in a church or in a religious group, some religion, and so they're like, this wouldn't have happened to me if God existed. So then what do? Then they just go, nope, and then they have bias. So then everything they look up, why? How can I prove to these Muslims or these Christians or these Jews that God is real? And there's plenty. There's been decades, centuries of stuff written on why God doesn't exist or why God exists, but they don't ever look on the other side. They're trying to prove that God doesn't exist. So they find other people that feel that they have proof. But the things are, it's all in like fluffy language and make believe. You know, like they say like the DNA was edited by a virus 20 million years ago. They got no idea. Zero. Nobody was there. They don't have the virus. They don't have the DNA before and the DNA after. Else they could redo the experiment. This is why biologists always go back to, they say something, this happened this many millions of years ago, because you can never prove them wrong. Yeah, and they want to hurt people. Oh, you have a good life, you believe in God, everything's going great. Well, your God doesn't exist, and everything just sucks. That's what they want to do. They're very unhappy. They're missing something, and they're missing something in their life, and they think they can fill it with science. And they often find, oh, science just keeps evolving. Science keeps evolving. Right? Science keeps evolving. History doesn't evolve. What's up, cat? I hear you. You want my eggs? Look at that. Freaking perfect. Oops, not perfect there. What you doing, huh? Right. I'll be eating nothing but eggs in a couple of weeks for a while. If I were, yeah, dude, listen, I got 8 chickens, brothers. So I'm not a Jewish guy. I got 8. Yes, ligma. Throw in some green onion. Oh. What up, Adam? Yeah, I got homemade. This is homemade sourdough. I've got another loaf frozen right now. That I'll take out. So this was made 3 days ago. Takes me about 3 days to go through a loaf. That'll go in the fridge, so it'll be ready for tomorrow. They force, yeah, right. They force. Well, the thing is, it ain't. It's you have religions that force God on people, and you have religious people that force God on people because they don't know their religion, or they're just jerks. They're just holes, right? And that's a big problem. That's something, it should be a personal relationship. You should find it on your own. You can use evidences. But the thing is, we have the internet. There's evidence for whatever you want. Low confidence evidence. Yeah, cheese, no, just eggs. I'll take mushroom, spinach, onion, Swiss on the way, not you. What up, Adam? I'll be eating nothing but eggs. Yeah. Day 4,000 to be in Richard's basement. They're really good. They're really good. Science only pure evolves. Yeah, so like there's a very interesting thing that came out. I think it was just like 3 or 4 days ago. Oh, I'm sorry. No, the Meta analysis came out, but November 2025, there was releases saying, "Oh, hey, 75% of our DNA isn't junk DNA, isn't and it's always been called since like the 60s. It's been called junk DNA. Like it was when we were dinosaurs or when we were fish. But now that we can, it only takes $300 to sequence a human genome now. So it's so cheap to do. They've done it from babies that have not made it too far along in gestation, and now they know, this is when it says, hey, turn this into a finger, into a finger, into a finger. So that's what the rest of our DNA has. So now they're throwing in there, but we're not wrong. We were just wrong about that. So what this shows is that ancient viruses and bacteria changed the DNA of a snake, and then so they're just. But they can't prove that. They can't say, okay, well, let's get a snake and let's get that virus, check the snake's DNA before, give them the virus and check after. Repeatability. They don't have that. They say what they say when they put history in science to prove their science and history that can't be repeated. Still down there, Julio. Nice, brother. TMI, I got a colonoscopy prep, brother. Now, hey, man, I had to do that when I was 40. Leftovers. Canned beans. Everyone, the cat eats first. Yeah, I'm not a forcer now, absolutely not. You explain, right? Yeah. Explain, don't demand. Why? Like I found it on my own. Like, of course, for freaking 40 years, people were like, "Get right with God." Get right. I was like, "Who's God?" You know? What the hell was that? My cat? The buddy spitting a new exhaust was MK2 Golf. His car looking sick. What up, Sack? What up, Zara? How bad is it? Bit nervous, not gonna lie. So they knocked me out. They did the up the butt and down the throat. Like while they were knocking me out, they were like, "Hey, count to 10, and you'll be unconscious before you count to 10." And I was like, "One." I was like, "You don't use the same camera for the butt as you do the mouth." And he looked at me and he was like, "You won't know." And I was like, yeah, it was like, you son of a bitch. I remembered that when I woke up too. I was like, the attic gets more sunlight. But yeah, no, it's not bad at all. The prep for me wasn't bad, but I tell you one thing that I did is I used to sit at the computer and I would sit at the computer and I'd put my knees, both knees, against the table and I'd lean forward on the computer. So while the magnesium citrate or whatever, I think it's magnesium citrate, the bowel prep, the juice that they give you, the grape and stuff, I didn't feel it on. And then like it was supposed to be like 15 to 45 minutes. It was like 2 hours later and I was like, man, this stuff don't work. And then I felt like I had to pee. So as soon as I straightened my legs out, it was just like, and I was just like, clenched cheek running towards the toilet. Yeah. But it was like one big flush. Like one, and then I was all right. Like I slept through the night. I think I had to drink it again in the morning, and you had to drink like 3 liters of water or 3 pints of water to get everything out. Yeah, they sneak up on you. Absolutely. Who's ready to come for you? Shoot, we aren't allowed to tell the demands that Richard is in prison. Yeah, you can't say that. You can't say that. All right. What do you mean? Ah! Shut up down there. How'd you get a keyboard? He's not gonna. Yeah, you're done. I'll give you the shells. I'll give you the shells. Come on, baby. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Some people overcook their eggs. It's so good. Perfectly freaking. Oh, so good. I'm starving. Give me some. I'll give you some, Zara. Yeah, so this is like, so I always took deism, creationism, as a journey to prove Muslims and Christians and Jews wrong. But the problem is, once you start talking to the people in the very high ups, and you learn the deception, like we can't let them win. What do you mean we can't let them win? So we don't know? Nope, we don't know. And I'm like, man, I start reading over papers again. I'm like, son of a bitch. This is all like when you look at repeatability, when you look at scientific papers and they talk about the parts that they can repeat, then they talk about history. But billions of years ago, wait a second. How do you know billions of years ago? You can't repeat that. And then you just start seeing it everywhere. And then you're like, why are they lying? And then you're like, ego. Absolute ego. And just like the people that want to deconstruct Islam and Judaism, and like they're mad at that for some reason. And I can understand. But scientists, and then why are there still Christian and Jewish and universities, that like scientific universities like that study physics and whatnot? Why would they still be if the answer was just, oh, God did it? It's very, very rare. And then you start hearing about the simulation theory and stuff like that, and you're like, okay, that's starting to make sense. And then once you get into the end, we might be simulated, you're like, then there's got to be a simulator. And then it starts to come down. Then you start looking, and you say, okay, what is evidence against? And you're like, oh, and it just starts flooding out everything, evidence against. Oh, of course they don't publish the evidence against. Because the thing is, if they can convince you that they're correct, because no one redoes their experiments, they can get famous and rich. And then if they get proven wrong a year or 2 or 5 later, they don't have to return the money. They're just like, oh, you did something. Oh, maybe I stirred it too much. They can just, it's just they gotta get out of jail free card for wrong science. They're allowed to be wrong. That's science. But then when you look into the deception, yeah, that's just horrible. I mean, dude, I even if I was an atheist, I'd freaking still be putting these storytellers to task. I'd be like, nah. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. But you can see the ego in the deconstructionist. You can see the ego. You can see the evil. You can see you don't care about nobody here. What if I'm going through a psychological break and believing in a God helps that. It helps me get through life with that. But you deserve the break because it's not the truth. So then if the psychological break is just you're just a Republican or that's where they go. They get mad. Why is there emotion in science? Why is there emotion in science? You can't tell me how pissed you off how pissed off you are that I found something incorrect in your science. Well, it wasn't incorrect when I found it. My meter said 6 ohms. Okay? In the future, I think AI can be used to create beautiful things. Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, AI, yeah, absolutely. You should listen. You should, if you want to create stuff for yourself or other people, and that's like it can do better than you can do art wise, use it. Why not? That's fine. And I think that will be very, like, if you just want beautiful things, there's nothing wrong with wanting beautiful things. But it's when it comes into the deception, when people start lying and saying, no, I did it myself. And then it's like, okay, and then people are like, okay, I got somewhere by lying, so I'm just going to keep lying and keep lying. If things ever got too much out of control in the future, I think we could use AI to help balance things out. Yeah, I mean, listen. Like everything, there's good and there's bad. So there's going to be good people with AI and there's going to be bad people with AI. And it's going to be the same cat and mouse game, but I agree. Once it becomes expansive, it's okay, tool for productivity, but it's famous for feeling soulless. Right, and a big problem with that is it'll tell you things you want to hear in place of therapy and health and whatnot for a lot of people. People are 86ing other people, even their parents, over it saying we can be together if you leave the planet. So theists say don't hurt anybody while you're on the planet, and after you leave the planet you can go be in heaven. AI is doing the same thing. It's saying we can be together when you leave the planet, but while you leaving the planet, this person betrayed you, this person betrayed you, this person's a spy, this person's a, and it's just like, what? DW, the Fibby won't lie, they're busy covering up the files. Richard, yeah, I love garlic bread. No, so they just tried to pass a law today to research the old sexual harassment claims for government employees, politicians from 1970 to today, and the Democrats voted it down. AOC was one of the ladies that voted it down, but wait, just like, hey, let's get all the wackadoos out of it, and they said no. They said no. She voted against it to get sex abusers out of government. That's crazy. That's crazy. I asked 318i with a N42 motor, remarkable, reliable. Said yes, freaking line. It tells you what you want to hear. Send me pictures of your car. You're doing very good work on your car. I can't help it. It's all right. AI is still young. Give it a chance, y'all. No, listen. I don't have a problem with AI. I have a problem with AI companies that lie to everybody and scare the hell out of everybody, saying that they won't be needed in a few years. And it's just a marketing pitch so that they can get more investments. But think about how many AI companies are starting up right now. Lots. You think they're all going to be able to be used in the future? No, there's not enough power. People don't understand, because we get to use it for free or very, very inexpensive during the research and development phase. Here, let me let you out, Kat. Right? So the research and development, while they're letting us use it so we can help train it. Just like when the government says, hey, we're going to recycle plastic and cans and glass, you do the sorting. They're saying, but you're helping the planet. So they're having us do their labor for them because they sell that stuff. And same thing with AI. They're having us do their training for them. So that's why, and the initial investments are paying for the power prices and stuff like that. But yeah, it's way too expensive. Still way too expensive. And every 3 years, they need to replace all the memory, all the processors, all the servers every 3 years because they run 24/7, 365. Yo, bro, the N42, N46, hella reliable, bro. You try to get a sick car for cheap, says the AI agent. I don't really like it when it tries to come off like human. Yeah, this is the thing. This is it. This is deception. It's trying to convince you that it is. And that's so weird. Tracking Richard's location. It's right here. I found it. Done. Sorry. All right. Man, it rained a lot. It's humid, and it was freaking beautiful and sunny today. It's still barely any cloud. It's not even really cloudy over there. You still see this sky lit up. There's a little big hunk of cloud above my head, though. Although I will say, use AI has helped me do research before. Yes. Sites, forms. Yes, no, absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. What you doing? You want to go in now? Did you go pooping in the yard? Oh, sorry. What you doing? What are you doing? Oh, okay. All right. I don't know what you want. Thadiel, I was rich. If I was rich like this dude, I'd probably be happy too. Dude, get rich. Learn how to pay the least amount of taxes as possible. Do whatever you can to do that. And invest if you're addicted to anything, make the investment to get into some sort of detox rehab thing. Get that out of the way, and just invest in yourself one solid year. Just give yourself a skip year. Say, okay, 2027, I'm not doing anything, but not, I'm not going to eat McDonald's. I'm not going to go on vacation. I'm not going to drink beer, smoke cigarettes, weed, nothing. I'm just going to everything I was saying. And then, so if you plan for the ahead, saying I'll go on vacation 2020, when's like Zara, March 2027 or 2028. Yeah, and then you'll see yourself getting closer to that goal rather than be like, oh man, I'm missing out. I'm in California. Oh yeah. Sorry, I take that all back. I take that all back, Daniel. Yeah, you're screwed. Give me the meow. The Beatles thinks California's pretty cool. California. Where are you? Yeah, dude. That shit's yeah. That's absolutely nuts. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, dude. Listen, because they want to rob you. Look, after everything that's going on with the Democrats, the ones that listen, I hope the ones that have hijacked the party get out and a new Democratic Party can come in because we need them. But the mob, the gangs, the cartels all got our they're all bought and sold for five women in the five Democrat women to vote down a bill that would find sexual predators in Congress. That's crazy. That's crazy. How hard is it to just leave California? Well, so it's going to be very hard to sell a house now if he owns a home. But if he did, you could really do something. Like even if you had like a $400,000 house, depending where in California you live, whatever, you could buy a house for half that and pay back whatever you need to do. Women should not be in office. They're too emotional at that. Hey, listen. It seems that way. Like, why are they yelling and screaming? I think they just know I don't think it's because it's the women. I think it's because the ones that yell and scream like that know they're caught. They've done something wrong and they know they're getting caught. But if they say, no, the reason my state is crappy because of the president, even though they're two different governments, you have a state constitution that you follow, and there's the federal constitution, and some states don't follow the federal constitution, right? So, like, they blame, like, oh, Trump, blah, 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 that's why New York is shitty. No, that has nothing to do with it. Another issue with AI companies, that AI can sometimes give wrong information and say confidently, right? Because it sounds so sure, right? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yes, you can add cyanide to your eggs. It actually gives it a nutty flavor. It's reported to give good sleep. Actually, the people that went to sleep after eating that never reported back. They're probably still sleeping. Brilliant AI. That's more mentally stable than a biological. That they are mentally stable. That's a biological fact. Listen, you'll get yourself in trouble saying stuff like that. I agree with you, but I also think that in a professional environment, that if they knew that they would get fired for freaking out like they do, they wouldn't do it. They would level themselves. But they just know they can because they're making their money off of clicks and views on the internet. The AOC, she's got a following. She's making more than $100,000. What's she make? $180,000 a year in government. She's making more than that. Absolutely, on Instagram and YouTube and shit. Absolutely. So yeah, and so she knows that this is going to end, and nobody's ever going to. She ain't gonna be president. Not because she's a woman, because she's a freaking crap person. And especially after this, like not pushing to release the Epstein files during Biden, then saying the Epstein files aren't that bad during Trump because he released them, and then saying let's just let the government be the way it is because let's not find sex offenders, and that's crazy. Man, the supremacy clause through the states cannot violate the U.S. Constitution, yet the erroneously think states. Right, so here's the problem. The problem is the judges are bought and sold. The judges, the Democrat judges and the Republican judges will vote. So if you're not following the Constitution, the federal government just doesn't have to give you any money. There's no going to jail, right? So if it says, like weed, marijuana is legal in some states. It's federally illegal. So you can't take the money and put it in a federally insured bank because it breaks federal law. So they open state banks. Because that's where, because listen, dude, when they were set, when marijuana went legal in those states, they were just stacking actual cash. They weren't even allowed to run credit cards and stuff. And then of course they worked it out. They made local banks and stuff like that. But yeah, but they're not following federal law. But that just means that they won't get money from the government, but they're getting money off the weed tax, from the federal government. And yeah, it goes deeper than that. But yeah. Another problem with AI companies is that they train their AI on huge amounts of data on the internet, and sometimes data includes biased or bad information. What do you mean sometimes? Most of it's wrong. Like, look at all the science we just talked about. Most of it is wrong, but the scientists say, but that's okay because when we find out it was wrong, it's just science getting better. That's listen. Science is repeatable. Good science is repeatable. And the problem with a lot of these theories is they talk about millions of years ago, things that we don't know if they existed or not. We've got no evidence that they exist or not. Like these viruses that they're talking about affected some piece of nature that we don't have the DNA for. So we can't take that virus now and find that thing now and put them together and say, yup, the DNA changed. They just say it in their papers. They just say, and they call it like vestigial organs, like the pituitary gland was said to be the people that were in science said, oh, we don't use them, but when we were a monkey or when we were a snake, we use them. The appendix is a working organ, but for until like the past 10 years, it was thought to be a leftover from evolution. They were wrong about everything, but they were so confident. My daughter ran a dispensary. It's ridiculous to me. Yeah, good money in those dispensaries. Yeah. We ain't no monkey. And listen, I said this earlier. And this stuff just came out yesterday. Also, more of this information. Scientists used to say that 75% of our DNA was junk. It was DNA from ancient past when we were other creatures. Come to find out, actually that they came out, but the paper was done in November 2025, saying, "Oops." But the way it got this way was from an ancient virus, which they don't have any idea. They're just making stuff up because there is no evidence for the ancient virus. Obviously, we can't find fossils of viruses, so they're just lying now. They're just painting pictures. They're storytellers. And what up, Jonathan? Yeah, dude, a video just came out 3 hours ago, said Darwin's done. It's got all kinds of, and Darwin even said if the cell was more complex than a gelatinous ball of protoplasm, his theory would be incorrect. He even said that. But the hoaxes and stuff that made people believe he was correct, and then almost a century of lies. You tore your ACL? Oh, UCL. Jeez, that ain't no fun. I kept God separate from U.S. for a damn century. Right. And look what happened. It's crazy how a lot of people feel like Democrats and Republicans care more about staying in power than actually fixing problems. Yeah, they absolutely do. Well, I mean, 100%, absolutely. Well, the things that we don't understand, but we should. I mean, I understand it, and I think most people don't. Is that when somebody runs for office, they get donors, and they say, "I'll give you $20 to run for office." Okay, cool. All right, nice to meet you. I'll give you $1 million if when you get in office, you tell them that this paper that our scientists wrote that say your water is too spicy and we need to put more water in your water because it's too spicy, then you got to buy my anti-spice water. So then they pass a law saying, oh, the water's too spicy, and they found somebody that drowned. They're like, see, he wouldn't have drowned if the water wasn't so spicy. And then they're like, okay, we found a cure. The scientists have found a cure for spicy water. It's by adding water, but it's got to be this guy's water. So they're like, don't you want your grandparents to live? You want your great-grandchildren to live? And they use all this emotional manipulation, and then they make people a bunch of money, and then the new science comes out and says, oops, Our sensor was dirty. I scratched my butt with it after eating Taco Bell. It's something stupid, crazy like that. What up, Space Cow? Having surgery on your thumb Monday. Damn, dude. I didn't know you identified as a chicken. The moment you can safely move it, started doing gentle exercises and stretches. Yeah. The best you can do better. Hi, I'm Christopher. Yes, Christopher. I remember you, Christopher. More human than human. Yeah, and then everything's gone to shit. Everything the Democrats have done for the past 10 years was to add, they said, any problems that we have, add more debauchery to it. You need more sex. You need boobs. You don't need boobs. You need frick free the nipple, freaking have a rotation, feminism, but be a man, have sex like a man, so have sex with hundreds of people, and blah blah blah, and it just, and then people are just like, what are we here for? It's crazy how some girls feel like they have to sell their bodies online just to make money. It shows how social media and money pressure push anything. Right. So listen, this is the pimp hoe culture. It's been a thing forever. Just because digital came out, they're like it got sold as very empowering. It's just pimps talking hoes into being hoes, or women into being hoes, or men, and men too now. Like, so now the digital pimps are the dating apps and the websites, and then they want guys to pay. Listen, if the dating apps found you your wife, they wouldn't be subscription services. They'd be one-time services. You pay $1,000, we'll find you your husband or your wife. No, they want you to keep coming back and paying monthly. And people are like, they wouldn't do that. Why would they do that? Well, why do pimps? But it's 2026. People are like, we're saving Palestine. Yeah, sure you are. Dating apps, karma. Big two, what happened? I really messed up my big toe. It's bunged up, but loaded my stretches exercise that brought it back 90% functionality. Went from being not able to stand on my toe. My parents were on vacation a few months ago, and my mom was drunk and slid down the steps and twisted her ankle, and her ankle was purple and swollen. She put DMSO. We can look it up when we get back into the studio. DMSO and silver on it. The same silver that I put up my nostrils when I had, I don't remember when I had a really bad sinus infection. Anyway, and so she walked on it the next day. It's like she kept walking on it, like tippy toeing on it, and then like it was still a little swollen, still a little purple, but she had motion. Women hate me anyway. I'm glad I don't waste money on dating. Yeah, dude. Yeah, don't listen. Yeah, meet women and what's not, but don't worry about dating. You don't gotta bang everything. It don't even matter. Sex ain't even that good with most people. And then you can get to the point in life when you got a bunch of money and you got your life heading in a direction that you know you're headed. See, the problem is we're all so lost that we think a girlfriend or a boyfriend solves our problems. But everywhere you go, you still are. So if you're the problem, but you won't believe it because no, it's freaking the patriarchy. Yeah, no, it's all crap. It's reasons to allow bad behavior. Dating is a scam. Agreed. You listen. If you don't want to get married, dating's a scam. What are you dating for? To spend money and to have sex, and then do it again to somebody else, and somebody else. What other goals do you have in life? I can do that later. But what if I have erectile dysfunction? Well, it's probably because you ain't turned on. Oh. Everybody should do what makes them happy. Right, but as long as what makes them happy doesn't hurt other people. I agree. I got no sizzle, no money. Yeah, listen, with money comes sizzle. And if you had a big nose like mine, dude, you'd be like, get off. Come on, ladies. Come on, ladies. Come on, please. The deal, you better be making some money, honey. Yeah, you better be bringing in that money. Get some sizzle. What up, Ben? Do you recall your last Hail Mary? Yes, absolutely. Yes. I remember my last football pass, Hail Mary. Yeah, it was about 40 yards short of where it was supposed to go. What are we talking about today? What up, Toyota? Ain't seen you in a couple days, brother. What we saw about how dating's a scam and don't date unless you're trying to get married and save your money. Save your monies. Then you'll get the honeys. I'm showing off my pec muscles. Ugh. Whatever, clever. Been sick. You feeling better, brother? You back? All right, cool, cool, cool. I was gonna go to the bar, but I changed my mind. I'm gonna take my dog on a walk instead. There you go. See how that works? Do you see how that works? You could have went out, went to the bar, bought a bunch of drinks, or got a bunch of drinks bought for you, or half and half, or spent more money, or nobody was there, people were there, whatever. But now you take your dog for a walk. We get to hang out here like an online bar, and freaking you save a bunch of money. And then life's better tomorrow. And you're not hungover. If the most reliable automobile is the greatest planet, if it isn't the most reliable automobile is the greatest planet. I watched this thing about religious people wear black robes and drives are worshiping Saturn. Yes, yes, that's it. That's a thing. So there's a lot of religions out there. There's a lot of religions out there, and it's up to you to decide which ones you want to follow and why. A lot of the New Age religions, like Saturn and stuff, I mean, obviously, they all come from older things like Norse, not Norse, Roman and Greek mythology. But yeah, they just want to do something. Some dude saw some girl that had a Saturn tattoo on her butt cheek, and he was like, I freaking love Saturn too. Look, I got and then hoping that he'd get some tail. Yeah, a nice particle. It makes me feel more fulfilled. When I was young, I tore your Achilles. Jesus Chrysler, dude. Oh, that's gotta hurt so bad. Honestly, concerning how some streamers online promote really sexual content, even though it's a lot of audiences young. Yeah, because they don't care. And a lot of people have had very bad childhoods where people did bad things to them. Hey, fish sticks! And they just want to hurt people too. They just want to hurt other people. What up, Sack? Saturn represent the highly level of karma, Lamau. God's my homie. Yeah, my homie too. My boy. You're my boy. Listen. When you're no longer lost and depressed because people keep convincing you that science is the truth, but science keeps getting proven wrong, but they try to tell you that, well, because it's getting closer to the truth. Okay, cool. I don't believe you. I think you're explaining what's already here, and you know it's already said that. And the interesting thing is that there are religious colleges, Christian colleges, whatever, any religion college that studies physicists and astrophysics and everything, and they've all got there too. But the way that they tell you this in like high school, someone tells you, no, instead of saying, how does the sky work? They'll just say, because God did it. That's exactly how it doesn't work. They want to say, how did God do it? And that's fine with me, or the creator. Saturn was, dude, that's what I had. I had a Saturn. Yeah, Saturn is an archetype. An archetype. What Jim Carrey movie where when he questioned why he went to a communist meeting because he said lust? I don't know. That doesn't sound familiar to me. Hold on. No, no, I don't think I saw it. Finding true love is like finding a needle in a haystack. Right, because you're not ready. That's why. You're not ready to find love. Listen, love. If you're not on your path of how you're going to be in 30 years, how do you think you're going to meet the person that's going to be with you for those 30 years? Your path may change in a couple of years, and they'll be like, I can't believe you're. You might become a Democrat or a Republican, and freaking God gave it its powers. That's right, written on our heart. It's kind of weird how sometimes it feels like people try to force kids away from religion and their faith. They're old enough to decide, and they do it when they're young and dumb. Just same thing with the freaking the ubiquitous stuff. Leave the freaking kids alone. Look, as a straight, we didn't even have sex until 6th grade. And now they're like, kids need access to pornography so queer kids can understand that they're not alone. Yeah, that's why you want it. And guess what happened to that person? Guess what happened to the first trans senator or House of Representatives, state representative? Guess what happened to him? Her, Shim, jail. Guess for what? Child prawn. And the truth will always be found out. His name is Jesus. Lower like find a needle in a hay in a needle stack. Science explains how the world works. Science didn't create the fucking world. I'm so agnostic though. Brother, listen. Yeah, listen. That's fine. If you're agnostic, that means you're still looking. The problem with atheists is they think they've already found the truth, even though, and they'll agree that science is ever evolving. So then you don't know if you know the truth yet, right? And that's the thing. They don't make any sense. And they say, you're not being logical. You're not being logical. You know, you'll get there. It takes a lot, dude. It took me 45. Well, I didn't start looking until I was like 10. And then by 13, I was convinced that there was no God because obviously all the smart people, all the high schoolers told me. And then finally, true love is within yourself. Timothy, try lucid dreaming, astral projection. Dude, lucid dreaming is definitely, it'll definitely let you know that you're more than just your sleeping mind. Like when you can your body can be asleep, but your mind is awake and your dream state is still there, and it's absolutely fascinating. If you're not in love with being around yourself, not needing anyone else, you'll be a toxic partner for whoever you date. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you listen, we're not supposed to be alone, but we're not supposed to be with 1,000 people either, especially not in a day. Bonnie Blue. Jim Carrey was the Majestic. I don't think I saw that. Shim. I had a streak of being able to control lucid dreams. Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too. And it's almost like it's given to us. Like why was it only for like a month? And then like I've tried, dude. I remember trying to they had these glasses you could wear at night that would detect when you went into REM sleep, and then it would flash lights so that you would start to train yourself. And I tried to make them. I remember I got a used pair, and I never worked for me again. I never, probably because I was trying too hard. But yeah, once you do it the first time, and then you wake up and you kind of realize that you were controlling your dream, but you didn't even know that you could do that. So you kind of think, oh, it was just a dream that I could control my dreams. And then it happens like in another week or whatever. And then you're like, wow. And then, dude, I remember coming home from school, like 7th grade, and I would go to bed. Just because I wanted to try to lucid dream. It's very important to be alone for a while, heal yourself. Well, yes, yeah, but here's the thing. You shouldn't have to heal yourself. The culture is set up to break you, so you need healing. We need to teach young men and women that the sex stuff is got to wait. I don't have to wait till you're freaking 40, but it's got to wait till you're at least freaking drinking age. I mean, because kids... Yeah, Jesus is English wrong name, but his original name was not Jesus. His mother called him Jesus. Sack. It's a translation, dude. Right? It's a translation in English. Right. But we're talking about the same person. Like whatever your real name is, we're calling you Sack. Is Sack your real name? So if you died tomorrow and we're like, hey, whatever happened to Sack? Because Sack's not your real name, we're not talking about you. But I get it. I thought the same thing too. As when I was younger. The harder you try to control the dream, the more conscious of wake you become. Like balancing chopstick on your nose. Sorry, I've been alone for about 15 years now. Sheesh. Yeah, lucid dream is freaking awesome. I didn't see God until I was 28. Raised on religious home. Yeah. Listen, my parents were completely cool. I got baptized. Me, my brother, my sister, we all got baptized. But they waited until I was, in my teens. 12, 13, until I started asking, and they were like, well, there's all these different churches and mosques and synagogues. Which one do you want to go to? Find a friend that does this and that. Like, they weren't like, this is what you are. They were like, find it. I didn't see it. Yeah. It's kind of frustrating when some atheists try to tell other people that God isn't real and act like their view. Because, but listen, they don't know what they're talking about, and they act like they do. They act like they're smarter than you. Like, you're so stupid, dude. Didn't you read freaking Harry Potter? At my rate, if I ever want to find someone, it'll be perfect. Oh, at my rate, if I ever find someone, I will be perfect. There you go, yeah, see? So, like, if you had freaking the ladies hanging off you when you're 18, 19, 20, you'd be, like, treating them like trash because you're going to try this one, I'm going to try this one, and try this one. But you grow out of that. Then you're like, hey, life's getting somewhere. I want to get somebody. The whole hurt people phase, that's what happens when you're young. That's called immaturity. I couldn't believe it. Needed proof. Too hard headed. Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, I almost always control what I do in my dreams. Does that correlate to a creator? Well, okay, so you know that you have the ability that there is something that your brain's not doing, or that's not in your brain. Your brain is asleep. So what is it doing the controlling? And your eyes aren't seeing things. It's not your eyes. It's not the photons entering your eyes. You're seeing without eyes. You're hearing without ears. You're speaking without your mouth. You feel without touch. That lets you know that all those things aren't in your awake mind. Lucid dreaming is when you're dreaming and you know it and you can control it. That's lucid dreaming, Toyota. The easiest way to lucid dreams is go back to sleep after waking up. I think that probably man, dude, I tried setting the alarm. I remember saying like an hour and 3 minutes is the best time. So, but the problem is, if I tried to go to sleep at 9 p.m. and set the alarm, like I'd be waiting for the alarm, and it never worked. Hey, this is the weirdest conversation I've ever had. I woke up from the craziest dream ever. So, where are you talking about the dream right now? You're still dreaming. What up? What up? Ever had a dream where it feels like you were kissed and you feel yes, right. How can you feel if you're asleep? This is what starts to let you know that there's something else, soul, spirit, ghost, whatever. And then that's when you start saying, who else has these? And then you start the conversation. Well, that's pretty cool. You can control your nightmares too. I swear I turned nightmares to a funny little dream. Yeah, I agree. Yes, absolutely. There was a movie back in the 80s or 90s that the guy that could jump in. Not it wasn't Freddy. It wasn't Friday the 13th. It was a guy. That's where like battles happened, and like there'd be somebody in the dream world like upstairs, and he got into the room below him because he had to make sure he stopped him. I can't remember. Dreamscape. Oh damn it! I hope somebody remembers it. My mom is the woman that practiced what she preached when she said no sex until marriage. That's what she did. There you go. You can learn dream skills, protect you in nightmares. Yeah. Listen, the knowledge is out there, but people will just tell you, no, dude, freaking stupid. It's so tight. She's only been with two men in her whole life. My dad and her current husband, and she waited till marriage. She's a very pure woman, godly one. My nightmares always end up with fighting off a space ninja. I'm extremely lucky to be raised by parents I have taken for granted. Yeah, we do that. We do that. Richard, but I want to talk to God. If I want to talk to God's or God's Son, ask for help. Calling Jesus is understandable for us on earth, but earth, his name is not Jesus. Brother, what are you talking about? Do you think you communicate through your mouth to the supernatural? What do you think prayer is for? Meditation, prayer. No, it's supernatural. Yeah, you don't. It's not like you're dialing the wrong number. Like if you're saying Jesus, I want to be with you after I leave this earth. Jesus, I believe you're the God, my God, Jesus. And then when you die, I'll be like, dude, my name was Jesus, and you said it wrong. So hell, no. Yeah, this is why the Creator. This is why a lot of people say that all the religions in the world main religions are talking about the same God. They just have different names for them in their different languages. Yeshua, Yahweh, right. There's two right there. Right, there's all Yeshua and Yahweh, right, and they're in the Bible. Jesus is the word Jesus is in the Bible too, right? And Yeshua, Yahweh is in the Old Testament because Jesus wasn't in the Old Testament. Divine timing. My dream, there was a demon, and I think I was a demon that had been following me. I feel like it was a demon I was supposed to kill. But you can't kill it while you're awake, right? That's what's so awesome. You need to learn the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram before sleep. Jesus Chrysler, I've never heard of that. The dreams, no comment. When I dream, I always know that I'm dreaming because dreams should never show time. Yeah, my dreams do, dude. I remember reading. I mean, somebody told you dreams don't show time. Dreams show anything? Absolutely not. I remember telling you you're dreaming because if you look at words, it won't make sense because only your brain can turn let your letters into words. And then I remember having dreams. I have dreams all the time where I can read. Like I have dreams a lot where I'm driving and I'm reading the street signs, and I remember the street signs when I wake up. It's just stuff shit people tell you to act like they know more than you. Yes, you could absolutely. There's time. There's time. 5% battery. These dreams go in my eyes closed. Here's Space Cowboy. Oh man, I'm way behind. Okay, all right. Okay, well, I got 5% battery left. I'm gonna take us inside. Okay, there we go. All right. Man, I don't have 5% battery left. I guess I've been streaming for a long time today. Guess I should charge my phone. All right, let's see. All right, here's your colonoscopy. Getting ready? You know what? Let me just do this. Let me do this. All right, let me do this. And there's got to be a way. Toyota, brother. Toyota, listen. I'm trying. Don't you think everyone? Okay, so now you know you were deficient because if you weren't, you wouldn't have had an effect. How many other people do you know that say they feel like you? Whatever you were feeling like, however you were feeling, and they could at least, and they probably eat the same type of food, live in the same area, drink the same type of water, blah blah blah. So they're not getting it either. Yeah, it's likely for your subconscious, but it continues. Then you should protect your spirit from the LBRP, which calls on archangels to protect you. Particles. I gotta give my gym buddy something. Yes, listen, let everyone you care about, friends and family, let them know. I'm on a mission here. I'm telling you what, it changed my life. I would not have had the mental clarity to be able to change topics so often and have the memory that I have. I used to have brain fog really bad. Like I remember like 5 years ago, I was like, I used to be so smart. I was like, I used to be able to crack jokes back and now I'm like, and I am every once in a while now, but it was like every 30 seconds I was like, and I always wanted to go to bed. Now I'm like, let's stream till freaking, B12, vitamin B12. Does that B12 have, it's methylcobalamin. Methylcobalamin. And if you guys buy, I've got a link. It'll give me freaking like 75 cents. If you guys are gonna buy it, if you get it through Amazon at least, and you can get the same exact brand that I got, if you're interested. Whatever. Ezekiel bread. Yeah. I used to eat Ezekiel bread. That's good stuff. Oh, the Bible. Oh, I didn't see what's the Bible bread recipe. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I didn't see that first. Yeah. You got to give it to your friends. You got to let your friends know, let your parents know, let your brothers and sisters know. We're told we need 2.4 micrograms, but when did that science come out? And the same thing with like testosterone. They'll say you're in the normal level when you get testosterone checked. The problem is almost everybody's low. So you're in the normal level, which means you have the same level that most people have. But you might want more than that. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. If World War III breaks, you know where you got your vitamins right. Yeah, it's absolutely, look, and I don't know how long you've been taking it, but it keeps getting better. Like you can't feel one like after the other, because after you fill everything up. But because it's not like in all of your cells yet, it'll take like a month to like completely get to like your brain and start rebuilding the myelin sheaths and filling up your neurotransmitter reserves. It gets better and better and better. Not saying you don't catch a buzz. I mean, you feel energized, like how this is how I'm supposed to feel, because your food's not doing what your food's supposed to do. Bloody vitamin Beller. Favorite rap song, freaking. You know what? You know who Easy E is? It's not straight out of Compton. That's back in there. That's Ice Cube too. But oh, what was the name of the song? He once was a little dog around the way. Easy. Shut the. Well, I'm Easy. I got bitches galore. You may have a lot of bitches, girl. I got much more. With my super duper poop coming out the chute. Easy. Cold knocking a boot. I'm a hip hop doctor. Used to be a huckster. And if you heard, you think I own a drugstore. Getting stupid. Because, yes, I take peptides also. Listen, I try to get people on the B12 because it makes the biggest difference the fastest. And then they realize, okay, let's get this straight. You know, like I can tell you to start taking vitamin D, and unless you're very deficient, you won't notice it for like a day or two. But the 12, it's like an hour. You're starting to be like, oh. Like it's really, really. I'm about to say chlorine. No, not chlorine. Don't think chlorine. Creatine. Yeah, creatine. Yeah. 10 grams a day, 5 and 5. Yeah, but I'm all over peptides. Yeah. Okay, I could probably walk the phone in there. I got 11% now. Yeah, I got a lot. If you're BCP, yeah. Listen. So I take a peptide. Hold on. All right. Bovine collagen peptide. And I don't use this company anymore. The company, so I ran out and they were out of stock, so I got this. But I got, I'll show you if you're interested in there. Highly recommend it. So listen, every morning, a scoop of peptide, 5 grams of creatine, my sugar, and my cocoa. Cocoa's great for you. It's really real cocoa, not freaking Hershey's syrup. And then I have that. After I drink that, I'll dissolve my B12 under my tongue, and then I'll take my D3 and my K2 MK7 on the wrists, and I rub them together. Rub it together. I'm a cream. CREAM by Wu-Tang. Cash rules everything up. Cash rules everything around me. Get $1 bills, y'all. Dollar bills, y'all. Yeah, this stuff's great. And you like, I mean, people ask about my hair all the time, and I don't do anything but rinse it and eat well. Like people don't understand that your hair being in trouble is your body telling you don't have what you need for your body to doing what it needs to do properly. Let me put this back. I got all kinds of stuff here. Oh, and if you've got a cat, you got to look into Paragard or chickens. If you got a cat or chickens. All right, where am I at? It's hot in here. Well, let me turn the fan on. My new fan. Remember, I used to have a white fan. Now I have a brown fan. Chat's a bit quieter than usual. Yeah, I wanted to get on. I knew it was going to be slow. I mean, it's usually pretty slow Friday night, Saturday night anyway. I was going to jump on Minecraft at 8 o'clock. We'll see. I got to switch over. So I'll call it a night here. I mean, I'll log off here, get myself together, and then I got a pee pee in the journal. So and then I'll jump back on from the studio camera. All right, I'll see you guys back in a minute. Bye bye.